It's the Binge Bum Podcast. Whoa, it's time to talk about our favorite shows from all the streaming networks all across the globe, from Netflix to Hulu to Disney Plus and HBO. Get ready for fun and lots of show reviews. It's Binge Bum coming to you.
It's Friday, February 26th. Welcome to the Binge Bum Podcast. We are your Q crew, Dale and Scott. Hi, Scott.
Hey, Dale. How are you?
I'm well. How was your week, man?
I had a really good week. I'm very happy that we had a couple days in a row with the sun out and not one drop of rain. Finally.
Hey, I think it was Wednesday, or we got up to, 61?
It was amazing.
It was pretty darn cool.
Totally amazing.
I wanted to wear shorts and a t-shirt.
And we actually got out and went this past weekend. We went to MGM National Harbor.
That's
just
right.
outside of Washington, D.C.
That's
It was
right.
so fun to actually be around real people for a change.
Yeah, no, that was a lot of fun. And the food, I mean, they only have one or two restaurants open, but we keep going to the same Asian place, which is just
so
pretty
good.
amazing.
So good.
Yeah.
It's called Ginger.
Yes.
Yeah.
And if you're listening to the show and you go, the weirdest thing that we could recommend that we've never had before was the deep fried whole lobster.
Oh my God.
It sounds gross, but it's
so good.
freaking amazing.
It's so good.
And they cut it up in these little bite pieces, so you don't have to pick at it, but they lay it out in the lobster form. On the plate. Yeah, so
that was really,
cool.
really good. Nobody cares about that.
Nobody cares about that. Let's get to the news.
Yeah, what's happening in the world of streaming video?
In the world of streaming video. Hey, Peacock has announced a new reality competition show after the classic arcade game Frogger.
Oh my God.
How cool is that?
Well, because we have Frogger in our house.
Yeah, so we actually do own not an original coin operated one. We got a fake one, kind of.
No, but it's the real
But it's the real legit
software
game from the 80s.
Yeah, it's just kind of a 2/3 sized cabinet.
Right, yeah, it's pretty cool. This is going to involve contestants. They will compete in 12 obstacle courses. They have to dodge traffic, leaping over snapping gators, and hopping over hungry hippos, just to name a few.
I want to see how they pull this off because it sounds ridiculous.
It sounds ridiculous enough that I'm excited about watching it.
Yeah.
Contestants obviously are going to compete for a cash prize. They're currently accepting casting submissions.
Yeah.
It's going to be filmed in Australia. And get this, there's a website, we're going to post it on bingebub.com, where you can go and fill out this extremely long form.
Oh my goodness.
And submit video and pictures of yourself.
Wait. Are you going to apply?
I'm not, no. But I was curious to find out, and the only reason why I clicked on it is I wanted to know if the travel and hotel would be paid, and it will be.
It will be.
Yeah.
Do you get paid for being on the show?
I don't think so.
We don't know.
I didn't say anything about that.
What's crazy is that I would totally do it, except I am not interested in flying to Australia because that's as far away as you can possibly go.
So it's summer right now in Australia. So I'm wondering how soon. I'm wondering how we just found this. I'm wondering how long they've been looking for contestants.
Yeah. It's almost the end of summer. It's about to go into fall there. So
yeah, but it's not really cold. I don't think it gets super cold there.
It gets super cold in Australia.
No. Anyway, I find this pretty cool.
All right, so a new competition show called Frogger coming to Peacock. My Peacock, my Peacock.
Yeah.
We'll look forward to seeing that. When do we have any dates? Do we know when it's going to be? No,
none of that.
But it's
this is brand new.
They're just putting it together.
However, in the stories that I've read, it seems like because someone had asked what the obstacles were going to be, and the creator of the show has already identified at least these three. So it kind of makes me assume that some of these things are already done.
Yeah. Interesting. Well,
Yeah.
I will be interested in looking at it. And I will tell you this. I did spend some time the other night playing around with Peacock, and it's actually a really, really cool streaming service.
Yeah.
And I went back and started watching the beginning of Parks and Recreation, which of course is on there because it's an NBC
That's
show.
a great show.
So great.
I tell you what, there's one thing about that I love. The show is great. However, take a meander over to YouTube and just look at especially seasons 1, 2, and 3 of the bloopers. they are amazing.
I love bloopers.
Amazing that you want to watch them over and over again because they are so damn funny.
And now that you and I have finished watching Schitt's Creek finally, we've finally watched the last of season 5. We can now go on YouTube and watch all the great videos they have from Schitt's Creek. They've got bloopers. They've got best of Moira, Rose. They've got so many great things.
Exactly.
I didn't do it before because I didn't want any spoilers.
Spoilers, exactly.
But what a great series, guys. If you haven't watched it, go watch Schitt's Creek. Watch all 80 episodes. It's one of the best sitcoms, I think, ever.
Yeah, I mean, that was something that was on, and we never paid any attention to it. We only caught on because of that award show where they won everything.
Last year's Emmys, yeah.
Right. And I was like, I knew the show existed, but I didn't watch it.
It was so good.
But man, is it
so
great.
Good.
And if you haven't seen it and you're listening and you want to watch it, and I recommend it, it's currently on Amazon Prime via IMDb TV.
Yeah. So you got to watch a few commercials,
which is free,
but they're really
included.
super short. Like the commercials are like 15 seconds, 30 seconds long.
The only thing is that they're the same ones over and over.
Yeah, that gets a little
old.
tiring. Right?
Yeah. So if you are moving on, if you're listening to this podcast, chances are you like podcasts. And over the last probably at least past 2 episodes, we've talked a lot about For All Mankind. But I wanted to bring this up. Apple TV has launched this week their official For All Mankind podcast. It's going to be 10 episodes. Number 1 is already out. It's going to be hosted by, or not going to be, it is hosted by Chris Marshall, who plays astronaut Danielle Poole. And each episode will feature guests from the series and also space experts. And they're going to talk actually with astronauts and kind of get what goes really on when you're in space and you're not on the TV fixing something on the outside.
Right, exactly.
Like they do that kind of conversations.
Yeah.
They're going to talk to showrunners about how they created the series, and also every once in a while do a deep dive about what's currently happening in the show. So you get a little mix of everything.
You know, these kind of podcasts are super, super popular right now.
Yeah.
The shows that really do a deep dive into each episode of a series that's either on, and they're even ones that like Tori Spelling and Jenny Garth are going back and rewatching all the episodes of the original 90210 and talking about each episode.
Yeah.
That's super popular. People love stuff like that because it really goes behind the scenes and really gives you some more depth to the shows that you love now and shows that you loved then. So
yeah, and there are tons of fan podcasts out there about your favorite show. I mean, you can probably find a podcast about any show that you're liking right now, and it's produced by fans.
Right.
And you should definitely go check them out and listen. However, the streamers are starting to get on this bandwagon. The number 1 is HBO, who has a podcast, an official podcast for like almost everything you can think of.
Well, who doesn't have a podcast these days, Dale? I mean,
right.
Barack Obama and Bruce Springsteen just launched their new podcast.
Yeah, but you got to pay for that one.
But but still, I mean, 2 of the most influential people in America, one of the biggest rock stars of all time, and a former president of the United States. I mean, it's crazy. Everyone is podcasting.
Yeah, I think they did a 3-episode, like a 1 to 90-minute each episode.
Yeah, so every Democratic president and presidential hopeful has a podcast. Why aren't the Republicans doing it?
I don't know.
Where's George W. Bush's podcast?
But what makes that one exciting is that this is kind of the first foray into paid content for podcasting.
Sure.
So this is put out for Spotify, so you can't find it anywhere else. You got to pay a premium. You got to have a premium subscription.
People
to
are
Spotify.
doing that though. I mean, I saw some people. I was just talking to you about this the other day. There's these 2 guys that are doing a podcast. They've got 300,000 followers on Instagram, and they have a paid podcast. So if you want to listen, you've got to pony up a couple bucks a month. Yeah. It's not a lot of money, but
there's rumors that Apple is soon to be doing it. Now,
would anybody pay for the Binge Bump podcast?
Yeah. But here's the thing. Though, is that the way that works is that Spotify is buying these media companies that host those podcasts underneath of that, and those are what become, I don't know if individuals will have the opportunity to say, hey, I want someone to pay $5 a month for this.
It's going to be interesting to see the
We'll
future.
see where it goes.
Let's see where the future of podcasting goes. I mean, you and I have been podcasting for 11,
long time.
12 years now.
Yeah. There is no money in it.
No one's paid us.
No.
We've gotten some free shit here and there, but no one's paying us.
No.
All right, what's next?
Up next, this is our big story for this week, is the Paramount Plus investor meeting. Sounds pretty boring just on the face of it, but we do know, we've talked about this, that Paramount Plus is launching March 4th. Will take over the current CBS All Access. But what's fun for us and you guys out there listening is what they unveiled during this investor meeting, which is a bunch of shows.
A lot of stuff.
And the list is quite long. If you just Google Paramount Plus investor meeting, you'll find everything. But I included just some takeaways that I thought we would be interested in, and we can go through them really quickly. What they had mentioned as far as new scripted dramas is this one makes me so happy inside, the new Criminal Minds reboot.
All right, a reboot of a show that just went off the air less than a year ago.
Yeah.
We're rebooting things that don't really need rebooting, but you like this.
I love it. It was on for 20 years, I found out. It's in its very, very early stages. They're just now putting the creative team together, and they're hoping to bring back some original cast members.
Oh, I hope Aisha Tyler's going to
I
do
was
it.
going through the list. I watched this show a lot, and for me to watch it, I would love to see Kristen, I can never say her last name, Vangnies, who played Penelope.
She was the one behind the computer all the time,
computer, exactly.
doing all the research. Yeah.
I would love to see AJ Cook, who played JJ, come back.
You like her?
Paget Brewster, gotta have her back.
All right.
And David Rossi. I can't think of his actual real name. I can't think of it, but David Rossi was his character name.
Got it.
I don't think you're going to get Thomas Gibson. He was kind of...
No, he's been kind of ostracized from the show.
And Mandy Patinkin,
yeah.
who is famous now for Homeland,
Right.
I suspect has kind of moved on from this whole
It'll
thing.
be, maybe they'll do a whole new cast. Maybe it won't be any of the original people.
Oh, that makes me sad.
Well, who knows?
We'll see.
We never know.
This one, I did not realize was happening.
Nobody saw this coming.
I know. They are creating a series based on the movie The Italian Job.
I love it.
This is great. This series is going to be based on the grandchildren of Charlie Cooker, who was Mark Wahlberg in the original Italian Job movie.
Right.
They inherit his safety deposit box, and that starts the quest for the infamous Italian bullion search.
All right, so crazy because Mark Wahlberg is my age, so he has grandchildren. Is this a fast forward into the future kind of thing? Because
I guess for the movie.
Okay, because if I had a grandchild, he'd be like 2 years old. So I don't know. It just seems crazy. I don't know why it couldn't just be his kids, but maybe this is fast forward into the future.
Yeah,
but
I actually should have looked at when The Italian Job came out. It came out a while ago.
It was a while ago. I'm Charlize Theron was in it.
Yes.
She was amazing in that.
Yes.
So yeah, it's a great movie if you guys haven't seen it. So a series for The Italian Job coming to Paramount. That's cool.
Another one they mentioned was Why 1883. We talked about this. It's just another Yellowstone.
It's the prequel series to Yellowstone to find out how the Dutton family came about.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So we talked about that before. I didn't write much about that. We're not even really Yellowstone fans. We never really got in the 2 seasons.
I never really got into it.
Gave up on it.
But this one is really cool.
I know.
Their comedy slate includes Frasier. So we talked about this on a previous show that it was a rumor that Kelsey Grammer might be reprising his role as Dr. Frasier Crane in a reboot of the classic NBC series Frasier. It actually is now a done deal.
It's a done deal.
It's going to happen.
Yeah.
We don't know when. There are no dates, but it's definitely on the calendar. They're definitely going to make it happen.
And
we don't know who's coming back except for Kelsey, maybe, hopefully, as many people as possible.
Exactly. And I will paraphrase this because I read an article about this, is that Kelsey Grammer said that he has spent pretty much his entire life on the Paramount lot. And he is very happy and excited to continue to work with Paramount.
I might be wrong about this, but I think it's true, and I'll look it up after the show and let you guys know next week. But I think Kelsey Grammer is an actor who's played the same character longer and on more series than anyone else playing the same character.
You think?
Well, because the character of Frasier Crane originated on the sitcom Cheers.
That's right.
So Frasier is a spin-off of Cheers.
Gotcha.
And I believe he also played Frasier on some other NBC shows. We'll have to look that up. But I think he's been playing this character for a very, very, very long time.
Very, very, very long time.
Yeah. Speaking of long time.
Speaking of long time, they also announced a new series, Grease, The Rise of the Pink Ladies.
I love this.
This sounds like this could be fun. It's going to be a prequel to the first film. They said that it will include music, both classic and new songs from the original. I don't know. Maybe they're going to Grease too. I don't know. Wasn't that a flop?
Just keep going. We're not going to talk about Grease 2. That's one of my favorite movies of all time.
Oh.
It was not a flop.
Oh, it was a flop. Anyway, it's going to tell the story of Frenchie's older sister, Jane, who founded the Pink Ladies.
I love that. So we're going back, I wonder how far, because Grease took place in the 50s. Grease 2 took place in the 60s. So how far do we have to go back for the beginning of the Pink
40s?
Ladies? I don't know. We'll find out. But I love that. Well, older sister, so it's maybe it's early 50s. I love this. This has been rumored to be happening for over a year now, so I'm glad that they're finally putting it on their schedule. This is cool.
Reno 911 is back. This makes me
gosh.
happy. They've announced Reno 911, The Hunt for QAnon.
I love that.
There are absolutely no details that you can find on this. It's just it's just going to be a special is kind of how they dubbed it.
Standalone
just a
movie,
standalone outside of everything else.
Yeah, no.
I don't know who's coming back. There's no details whatsoever at all.
Yeah, most recently the cast of Reno 911 came together to do their little short subjects
On Quibi.
On Quibi. So we know that they're all still available and willing to be a part of this world. So I bet most of them will be a part of this project.
I really hope so, because that's what makes Reno 911.
Yeah.
Reno 911.
Yeah.
Also announced a new Beavis and Butthead movie. It's currently untitled. That's not the name. And there's also no details on that either. I just thought it was kind of exciting.
Some more. Beavis and Butthead were certainly featured a lot in Paramount Plus's Super Bowl commercials.
Yes.
So this was obviously in the works for a while.
Yeah. They announced new news shows. They're going to be having a 60 Minutes Plus version. I assume it's coming out on Sunday. It's going to be just like the original, but with new host Enrique Acevedo, Seth Doan, Wes Lowry, and Laurie Segal.
I don't know who any of those people are.
No,
but
I have no idea.
I'm sure that if they work
They're
for
CBS people.
News,
Exactly.
Yeah, they must be good people.
Yeah.
So excited about that.
They also confirmed the following that are currently on CBS All Access will continue under Paramount Plus, and that is Star Trek Discovery, Star Trek Lower Decks, Star Trek Picard. Stephen Colbert presents Tuning Out the News, which is actually quite funny. Have you ever watched an episode of that?
Don't get me started. Stephen Colbert.
He's not in it. He produces
right.
this.
All right, cool.
The Good Fight will return, and Why Women Kill will also
Why Women
return.
Kill is like...
It's like a 48 hours
yeah.
Dateline-ish kind of thing.
Well, of this list, I'm most excited about Star Trek Picard because I really like season 1. I thought it was really, really well done.
Yeah.
And I really got into it. I have not seen Star Trek's Lower Decks as an animated show. Have not seen that. And Discovery I've checked in kind of here and there with, but I found it not quite my cup of tea.
Yeah.
But Picard, definitely. Looking forward to that. And The Good Fight, that's been around for a while. It started on CBS with The Good Wife and then ended up on streaming with The Good Fight. So, yeah very cool stuff. But here's the biggest news.
Here's the biggest news. You take it.
This is huge. And they're taking a play out of HBO Max's book, I would say.
Sort of.
So there are 2 big movies coming out in 2021. We already knew they were coming. Mission Impossible 7. I cannot believe they've made 7 of these movies. They're planning to make a couple more, I believe.
Oh, my God.
It's now scheduled to hit theaters November 19th, which is my mother's birthday. That Mission Impossible 7 will show up in theaters on November 19th, but 45 days after that, it'll be available on Paramount Plus.
There you go.
Then also The Quiet Place 2, which was a huge hit a couple of years ago, the original one, is scheduled for September 17th in theaters. Again, it will be available 45 days after the theatrical release for all members of Paramount Plus.
Yeah.
So the new service drops March 4th. We can't forget that date.
I know. We keep
CBS This Morning talks about it constantly.
I know.
There's 2 tiers of pricing. You guys, have we talked about this before? $4.99.
No, this is brand new. We never knew pricing.
Yeah, so for $4.99 a month.
So let me say something about that. $4.99 a month is $1 cheaper than the current CBS All Access.
Okay. So they're reducing their prices a little bit.
Uh-huh.
That's ad supported, so you
Right.
gotta watch ads before, after, or during your shows. And if you guys don't want to watch no ads, and if you want to add sports news and live TV, like broadcasts from CBS News and their news department, you can pay $9.99 a month.
Yeah.
So that's what they're doing there.
This was a little surprising to me. I read that current subscribers of CBS All Access, they have all these shows which are popular among their own right.
Yeah.
Most people love to watch. If you, I do know, like if you have Apple, if you use Apple TV, the app that kind of is your guide for shows,
Yes.
you kind of save everything.
Right.
That if you go there, you go to the bottom of your CBS All Access, you have the live feed for your area.
Yeah.
It's the most popular
Really?
watched item.
Interesting.
People choose to watch their live television.
And
so these
this
are
is
true cord cutters.
Cord cutters.
So cord cuttings is getting bigger and bigger and bigger, maybe more than I thought.
Watch out, Comcast and Xfinity
it's coming.
and Cox.
It's coming.
We're coming for you.
All right. So over the weekend, we watched I Care a Lot. I was excited about this, and now we watched it. We're coming to you. We have something to say about it. What are your thoughts?
All right, so I Care a Lot is a movie on Netflix, which just came out a couple weeks ago. We finally watched it. It was getting good reviews overall.
It was. Yeah.
I don't know what the numbers on Rotten Tomatoes are, but I usually go by that.
Mm-hmm.
I was pleasantly surprised with this. So if you guys don't know, just very quickly, this is about a shady legal guardian who lands in hot water when she tries to bilk a woman who has ties to a gangster.
Mm-hmm.
So she basically takes vulnerable older people,
Right.
gets them committed basically to her care, and then she takes them for all they're worth.
Right.
Sells their house,
Right.
gets rid of their possessions, and she's a bad chick.
Bad.
However, she picked the wrong person to fuck with. And so everyone in this movie is a bad guy, basically. And so you basically are sitting there wondering, which bad guy am I going to root for?
Right.
And which one do I want to win? We don't want to give it away because there's lots of twists and turns in this movie.
Yeah.
But it does star Rosamund Pike, who was nominated for a Golden Globe for Best Actress for this movie. So so she was recognized for this movie. This movie premiered at the Toronto Film Festival, and it's gotten rave reviews.
Was it? Remind me. Is that Diane Weist?
Diane Weist?
Weist.
Yeah. So
Love her.
We all know her. We just talked about her recently. She was in Let Them All Talk with
That's
Meryl
right.
Streep.
That's right.
Of course, she was in The Birdcage as the mother. She was in The Lost Boys as the mother.
Oh, that's right.
She always plays the mother,
Man.
but she's amazing. She always has that pixie haircut, and
Yes.
she's still going strong. Also, Peter Dinklage, who we all know from Game of Thrones. He's the short guy.
Yeah.
I don't know what to call him. What's the appropriate name now? Is
A little person.
A little person. And Damien Young. I love Damien Young. He always plays a swarmy, horrible character. In this one, he plays the head of the old folks' home,
Right.
where Diane Weist's character ends up. But we know him from Ozark. He played a swarmy
right.
character on that. We know him from House of Cards. He played a swarmy character on that.
I forgot about that.
He also can play good. He played Lisa Kudrow's husband on The Comeback, where he wasn't swarmy. So, but he's really good at this. He also looks exactly like that dude from Modern Family. I mean, they could be brothers.
Oh, yes.
Yeah.
The son, one of the sons that have, yeah.
Yeah, one one of the son-in-laws.
Son-in-laws,
Yeah,
that's
there you
right.
go.
Okay.
Anyway, so we were wondering, we were watching this movie, and we are trying to find out, how do we know Rosamund Pike? You thought maybe she was from Resident Evil or something.
I did, but it's
not. I know her
not.
from something. So she was in Gone Girl, which she was nominated for an Oscar for.
Okay.
And she was also in Die Another Day, a James Bond movie, which was her first.
That's your cup of tea.
That was her first movie ever.
What?
Yeah.
Oh, wow.
And that was one of the ones with Pierce Brosnan. So she was in that. So she is amazing in this movie, y'all. I think you'll really get a kick out of her character. But I don't know. I would give it a solid B-, I guess, if I had to give a letter grade.
And I'm with you on that. That's exactly what I was going to say.
Yeah.
Because when I got into this, I love the plot. I love the idea.
That's great.
The plot is awesome.
I had some problems with it, though.
Yeah, I did. And I felt like that the caregiver person shouldn't have reacted in some of the ways that she did. It was like this kind of like, F you, you can do what you want to me. I'm not afraid to die.
Right.
That seems unbelievable to me.
Yeah, especially when your life is threatened in the way that it's threatened. Yeah.
Right. And at a certain point in the movie, I've already decided who I wanted to win.
Right.
And it all went to hell.
Right.
So
let's just say that it doesn't end the way you think it's going to end.
Yeah. So we're trying to give this review without giving any spoilers because it actually literally just came out the previous Friday. So we want to give people time to watch it. I actually
think people should watch it. I think
you have
it was
to watch
a really
it.
fun movie.
It's a great movie.
It's a little over 2 hours, I think.
It was an hour 58.
Yeah.
Just barely under 2 hours. It was a long movie.
Anyway,
but it's worth a watch.
Yeah, if you guys want to check it out, it's available on Netflix. It's called I Care a Lot. Rosamond Pike, Peter Dinklage, Diane Wiest. Check it.
Diane Wiest is great as a bad woman. She needs to do that more often.
She needs to do more of that.
Yeah,
that would be great.
Yeah, it was cool.
She usually does light comedy stuff.
Yeah, she does.
Right.
So this was nice to see.
All right.
All right, we have some fantastic new show announcements. Disney Plus has finally announced dates for their Loki and the Bad Batch. Loki is a new series coming to Disney Plus on June 11th. I know that we've talked about this early on, probably like in episode 1 or 2. It's been that long ago.
This is a Marvel thing?
It's a Marvel thing. This is going to take place after the events of Avengers Endgame. It follows Loki, the god of mischief, as mischief. Oh, there's just too many sh in there. As he steps out of his brother's shadow. Loki is played by Tom Hiddleston.
I like him.
Yeah.
He's really good.
Star Wars, The New Batch. This is an animated series. I love this. Yeah. Obviously, this is coming out May 4th.
May the 4th be with you.
Exactly. The Bad Batch, they were first introduced in the Clone Wars, which was another animated series. So this takes place after that, and the Bad Batch kind of like finds their way in the aftermath of the Clone War, pretty much.
Lovely. I have no interest in that whatsoever.
No, but I know these are two big announcements that people are looking
listen,
out for.
I love Star Wars, and I will watch all the.
You don't like the animated stuff?
No, I don't like the animated stuff. Yeah. It just doesn't do anything for me. I mean, give me the Smurfs, give me the Flintstones, but no, I'm not interested in modern day animation stuff. Yeah. It just doesn't do anything for me.
Yeah, but the animation is much better than the Smurfs.
Oh, bullshit.
What?
I don't agree.
All right, moving on. You take it.
Let's talk about Netflix. Let's talk about Army of the Dead. I'm very excited about this. Why? Because upstairs on the first floor of our house, we're in the basement right now. On the first floor of our house, we have a bathroom. Okay, it's a half bathroom, and it literally has 3 different oversized pictures of zombies attacking Las Vegas.
These are fake movie posters.
Right, fake movie posters from the 1950s or something.
Yeah.
We had them in our house in Vegas. They came here to our new place on the East Coast. So this is a new movie. It comes out on May 21st called Army of the Dead, and the entire thing is about a zombie outbreak in Las Vegas. And guys,
that right there has sold me.
Yeah.
I'm ready to watch
this is by director Zack Snyder, who we just talked about last week with his new cut of the Justice League movie. He's an amazing director. He puts awesome stuff together. I'm very excited about this. We haven't even seen a full trailer yet. The trailer that's up now, and it will be available on bingebum.com.
Right.
And maybe we'll throw it up on our Facebook page too, is just a teaser trailer. So you only get to see a few seconds.
Right.
But you get to see the wind and the encore falling down.
Yeah.
You get to see the Planet Hollywood on fire. You get to see a plane crashing in the middle of the strip. It looks really great. And
I'm very excited about this.
I love disaster movies, and I love zombie stuff. And I love Las Vegas.
If you don't know already.
Yeah, you talk about this next one because I have no idea what this is about.
So I'm a big fan. Mortal Kombat is a new film with HBO Max. They set a date for April 16th. Here's what I have to say about that. Mortal Kombat, if you're a fan of that franchise, this is going to be no different than the previous two that were in the 90s. What makes this different is what do you call this? The movie rating, right? So this one's going to be rated R, where the previous two films were PG-13.
It's a lot more violent than anything.
It's going to be a lot more violent. If you know the video game is violent. And I've checked the comments on some of these articles that I've been reading about this, and everyone is just stupid excited about the rating on this film. And you won't know this, but people who like Mortal Kombat will, is that we're gonna see the fatalities at the end. If you played a video game, you know, when someone is got like an inch of life left, you can do this one final special move. It's just crazy.
To take them out?
It's just take them out.
All right, so did you actually buy this game for our house? Is it coming?
Yes.
I thought so.
Yes.
I thought so.
Because this video game, it was announced yesterday. All right, let me tell you about these video games. Everyone, Arcade 1-Up, it's the best thing you could ever do if you want to have classic video games in a home in your home.
Yeah.
So Mortal Kombat HBO, April 16th, rated R.
Dale will be watching it.
Yes, by myself probably.
I will be not. All right, well, Dale and I are very excited to bring 3 things to you that we think you guys should be watching this weekend.
Exactly.
I don't know if we'll have time to watch them all, but we're going to try.
We're going to try.
Now that we've gotten through Schitt's Creek, we should have time to watch this.
Yeah.
The United States vs. Billie Holiday is coming out to Hulu. It's available today, February 26th. I'm getting ahead of ourselves. It's not March yet. It's still February.
I wish it was March 26th. I know where it would be.
We'd be almost done with our Vegas trip.
Right.
This is set in 1940s New York City. Of course, it's about the great, great, great singer, Billie Holiday, and how the federal government was all up in arms and wanted to censor her lyrics to some of her more controversial songs, which is ridiculous. Thank God we don't do that anymore today.
Yeah.
I mean, some of the lyrics in today's songs, I wish the government would get in there. Audra Day plays Holiday. She's amazing. You guys should watch the trailer. Leslie Jordan is in it. A bunch of other people, obviously. And it's looks really good. This is a Lee Daniels film.
Yeah.
He's known for making really good stuff.
He did Lincoln, right?
He loves historical stuff.
Yeah.
This is coming to Hulu. It's out today. We're going to watch it.
Love it.
It looks really good.
Yeah. We've talked about this one a couple of weeks ago. Billie Eilish, The World's a Little Blurry, the documentary coming to Apple TV Plus also today. Just a quick recap. It's a coming-of-age story of the singer-songwriter, just kind of behind the scenes of her writing, recording, and releasing her first album, how she became so popular, is When We All Fall Asleep, Where Do We Go? So
and there's a new trailer out. It's the second trailer.
Yes.
We'll put that out on our stuff.
Exactly. Yeah. And I want to have one note here. If you are a Apple Music subscriber, Apple released yesterday Billie Eilish, a live premiere event. This is a sit down. If you're an Apple Music subscriber, you know Zane Lowe, who is hosting this event with Billie Eilish. It's just kind of a sit down between these two and just kind of talk about the film. And I believe she does like some quote unquote unplugged songs from the album. So you should watch that. That kind of leads up to the premiere if you wanted to do them in order.
Nice. Well, we're gonna need a whole day to watch all this stuff.
Exactly.
Also coming out HBO Max today, February 26th, is Tom and Jerry. This
looks so fun.
I know. This does look really fun. This trailer first came out on back in November, I think.
Yeah.
So they've had this done for a while. This is kind of fun. We've seen this kind of movie before where they use live actors and live backgrounds, but they superimpose animated characters.
Right.
The Smurfs did this with NPH. They've done this
Right.
many times. Now they're doing it with Tom and Jerry. So Tom and Jerry are in New York City, the finest hotel. There's some big wedding of the century happening. And of course, Tom and Jerry have to fuck that all up.
Right.
And it's very classic if you guys are fans of the original Tom and Jerry cartoons from the 50s and 60s and stuff, then you'll know what they do to each other.
Right.
That's exactly what they're doing now. They're a little more modernized, but
Yeah.
they're still doing all that crazy hit them over the head with an anvil kind of thing.
Exactly.
And it looks really fun. And I would watch it. I would, if it was on, I'd probably watch it. I don't know if I'd sit down to purposely watch it.
Yeah.
But if
it's not my
on-
cup of tea,
Right.
but it looks fun. And I'm excited.
It does.
Yeah.
So let's all watch Tom and Jerry.
Let's watch it. Let's watch it all together.
But in order, I'd probably watch the Billie Eilish thing first because I
Yeah.
love her so much. Then the Billie Holiday thing, and then Tom and Jerry.
Tom and Jerry. Well, ladies and gentlemen, that is our show. Thank you for listening to this episode. Join us on Facebook. And if you like the show, be sure to rate us wherever you like to listen to your podcast. And we'll see you next week, y'all.
I know. Have fun binging. There's so much stuff to watch, new and old. Get your binge on, y'all. And we'll see you next week.
Thanks for listening to this episode of the Binge Bum Podcast. For more about what you just heard, locate the show notes at bingebum.com.